like this. I like this. I like this.
Peace, everybody. How we doing out there? How we feeling? How we feeling on this good Tuesday? Well, it's actually a rainy Tuesday out here in Chicago. Or is it still raining? I don't even know. It was raining. It was pouring down. Anyways, how we feeling today? How we feeling this rising?
I like this.
Hey, I'll definitely do that. I got you. I'll put it on Yappy. I got you. There we go. All right. All right. Peace, power, and prosperity, family. How we doing out there? Y'all already know what time it is. Bitcoin Block Bully coming to you once again with an early rise of crypto update. How's everybody feeling? It is Coffee and Crypto, Tech Money Tuesdays. Feeling like picking up some more Strat this morning? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. They've actually, who did Strat just team up with? Hold on. They just partnered up with somebody else. I'm going to bring that because we got class Thursday night. Hey, good shit, Antonio Blackman. Damn good move. That one project right there, that Strat. In fact, let me pull that up for individuals so they can know what we're talking about, right? That ETH Strat. Here we go. This Ethereum Treasury play. This right here gonna be what I believe. Always remember, y'all. Let me put a disclaimer out there real quick. Always remember, any and everything that I'm telling y'all is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Please don't take it as any type of financial advice. I do not give financial advice. This is nothing more than entertainment and or education. Any and everything that I'm telling you could be 100% wrong. Please always go do your own due diligence. Remember, this could be 100% wrong. You could lose all your money listening to what I say. So always keep that in the forefront. It started Gemini, Wealthy Rising. Oh, yeah, it is early out there on the West Coast. What time is it right now? 8, so it's 6. Yeah, y'all up early over there. I'm taking that $1 into Bitcoin so seriously. Hey, Raspy. Hey, look, individuals don't understand what $1 difference, $2 difference, $3 difference could do for you when you're looking at it like future money. especially when you're putting it towards a sector that in today's time right now is highly, highly, highly undervalued. You get what I'm saying? You got to think about it like this, y'all. You got to think about it like this. If you ever like feel like you're late or it's too late to get in or whatever the case may be, right? One thing you always want to think about: go out on your regular day. Brother Michael, what's going on? Peace, peace, peace. How you feeling today? Miss Jerica, big shout out to the New Money Matrix Discord in the building. But always think about it like this, right? Always think about it like this. If you can go out on your regular day, right? You can go out on a regular day, right? There we go. On a regular day. And ask just whoever you encounter, family, friends, whatever the case may be, are they, involved with crypto? Man, you holding crypto, you got crypto. You'll be surprised how many people just say no. Just, man, no, man, I ain't got no crypto. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really got to start comprehending how early you are to a sector that is going to be as big, if not larger, than the current stock market, bond market, commodities market that we currently have. And why do I say that? I say that because that market, stocks, bonds, commodities, options, that market is going to be placed over here on top of the blockchain, or at the very least have an alternative route for individuals. But in my humble opinion, if we're looking at shit like Web3 and the direction that the internet is going, things are going to be upgraded. You get what I'm saying? Things are going to be upgraded. That Sats explanation during the Pay Me in Crypto class made a lot of sense. Hey, that was a monumental class. I apologize. Y'all put y'all dozed the fuck off after that first section. I ain't know where I was going to go that long. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be doing a part 2 because I still had more to share with y'all. But no, that class is monumental, though. That class is monumental. Y'all remember seeing that 444, right? Y'all remember seeing that 444. But now, like I'm saying, though, so $1 a day is really, 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 and it's the thing, right? We got to stop looking at instant gratification. Oh, man, will I make some money by next week? Man, will I make some money by next month? Man, will I make some money by, next pay period, whatever the case may be? Let me ask you this. How many of you have ever saved a single dollar, or a $10 bill, or a $20 bill, or a $50 bill, or a $100 bill, right? How many of you think that you've been able to keep one of those for longer than 1 year? I'm talking about the same exact dollar, $10, $50, $100 bill. By a show of hands, how many of you have been able to keep that for longer than a year? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. How many of y'all keep that for longer than a year? Right? So when we look at and this is just a shoddy representation, right? This is $1 a day from June of 2017 until June of 2025. All right? This is what $1 a day, right? Yeah, everybody keep the $2 bills and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the $2 bills. Big Kahuna, what's going on, big homie? Peace, peace, peace. But look, $1 a day. $1 a day is all you really need to make a difference. Sometimes they say it's too volatile, unsafe, not regulated yet, still too new. That's crazy that they're saying that. You know what? Individuals that say that are highly, 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 highly misinformed and don't really know what's going on in reality, especially within this financial world. They have no idea what's really, really, really going on. That's why you got individuals like me here. So I can bring y'all the real. Keep y'all in tune, right? So like right now, you're looking at the market. Bitcoin at 115,000. Ethereum down at 4,300. Yo, Ethereum was just like $3,800, $3,700. Like, y'all do not realize, like, just a couple weeks ago, hold on real quick. Hold on. Let me see something. Where's Ethereum at? Here we go, right here. Here we go. What is this, a daily? All right. This is August 7th. Where we at today? That's August 7th. Today we're on the 19th, right? So just at the beginning of the month, right? Ethereum was just $3,300, $3,400. It ran to almost 4,800. Did we hit 48? 47.89, right below 48. It ran to almost 4,800, right? 4,800, right? Everybody, oh my God, man, I didn't get enough. It's pulling back now, giving you the ability to buy it again at much cheaper prices. This is where you should be excited at. You shouldn't be excited for this, especially if if you're excited for 4,800, that means you're not planning long enough. You're not looking for $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 Ethereum, $20,000 Ethereum. You're happy because a couple of $100 moved. You happy for a couple $100. That's not that ain't the game, yo. That is not the game at all. You know what I'm saying? Remember, you increase your wealth by the more amount of units or shares you can acquire. That's why you see, let me see. Hold on. That's why you see stories like this. Here we go. Bitcoin price slides below 115,000 as strategy and MetaPlanet buys additional Bitcoin. Bitcoin price dropped below 115K as MetaPlanet acquired 775 Bitcoin for 93 million at 120,000 per coin. If you average it off, bringing this holding to about 18,000. Hey, they're doing something with these numbers. 18,888 Bitcoin, while Strategy purchased another 430 Bitcoin for 51.4 million, increasing its total to 629,376. So you know what we're gonna do at the Buy Like Mike Club? We're gonna buy divisible of 430 Bitcoin. All right, let's see what we can play with over here. Remember, we buying like Mike. Remember, we buying like Mike. Mike buy, we buy. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Queen, DM me. I'm gonna show you how you can get it. All right, DM me either in the Discord or Instagram, but DM me. I'm gonna show you how you can get it with what you're asking right now about the ETH and the Bitcoin. Okay. Let me see. Let's scroll real quick. So they getting 430 BTC. They got 430 locked in. 430 locked in, right? Let's say if we wanted to do 0.43, right? About $49,000. 0.043. It's about $4,900. But now if we wanted to get 430,000 sats, right? That's 430,000 Satoshis. That's almost a half Satoshi. That's almost a 500,000 Satoshis. It's only $497. Only $497 for almost a 500,000 Satoshis. Y'all catching the drift? Y'all catching the play, the game? So yeah, when people it's to this, it's to that. Hey, he said, what did Michael Saylor said? He said that's a function. Man, what did he say? Hold on. Michael Saylor says, what does he say? There we go. Michael Saylor views Bitcoin's volatility as a function, not a flaw, or its nature as a digital asset and its role in the global financial system. He sees it as a gift to the faithful and emphasizes its benefits for those committed to a long-term Bitcoin investment strategy. Because that's the thing. Do you really just want Bitcoin to just keep going up, not have no pullbacks or anything like that? Is that what you really, really want? You really wanted to get out of the grasp of allowing you to be able to acquire at least a half a Bitcoin, at least a 0.1 of a Bitcoin, at least one Bitcoin? Is that what y'all really want? This is what people look at. They're like, man, I'm going to put $100 on Bitcoin right now. Hey, look, you can put $100 on Bitcoin right now, right? Let's just say you put $100 on. This is what people think. I'm going to put $100 on Bitcoin. When it goes to $1 million, I'm going to be set. You can put $100 on Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin could go to $1 million, right? There we go. Bitcoin could go to $1 million, which is about right here. Here we go. That's a 768% return, right? So you thinking you're smart, you put $100 on it, right? And that's I'm gonna put $100 to see what it does. See what it does. Hey, I'm gonna see what it does, bro. You're not gonna see shit. Like, not playing it like that. I mean, yeah, you're gonna see something. Let me not say that, but it's like, come on, man. What are we really talking about? Hold on. So Bitcoin could go to $1 million, 768%. That's gonna give you $878. Ooh, big and life changing. Wow. No. $1 a day gonna do you better than that. Hey, listen to me. $1 a day gonna do you better than that. You hear me? $1 a day will do you way better than that. But people don't want to listen though. They don't want to listen. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Let's see what's really going on with Bitcoin. Let's see what's really going on with Bitcoin. Let me see on the monthly. On the monthly, we can still have a pullback. It's all about when that pullback comes in, because you're gonna feel this gap. You're gonna eventually feel this gap, right? On the weekly, what are we looking at with Bitcoin? What are we looking at? Let's see where we're at. Waiting for my moving averages to come in real quick. Now, one thing I will say about the weekly on Bitcoin, right? 20-day comes in at about $108,000. We are seeing a bit of exhaustion here, right? And in my honest opinion, it'd be nothing wrong with coming back and retesting this previous high right here, right? It'd be nothing wrong with coming back and retesting all this previous resistance right here. Look at all this right here. About $108,000, $110,000, right? About $110,000. Other than Coinbase, where can we actually buy $1 of Bitcoin a day? So for those that are a little bit more well versed in the space, right? There's a number of different dollar cost averaging protocols that allow you to denominate X amount of capital to. It won't be native Bitcoin. It'll be something like wrap Bitcoin or BTCB. It's going to be a Bitcoin derivative. You get what I'm saying? It's going to end up being a Bitcoin derivative. But no, on Bitcoin, just on a, and remember, the lower it goes, the more you're able to acquire. The lower it goes, the more you're able to acquire. So you got to ask yourself, what game are you trying to play? Right? Are you like I said? Are you trying to take $100? Once again, you can put $100 on Bitcoin right now. It can go to $1 million, and all you're gonna make is a $768 return. You're gonna make seven. You did all that, waited all that time, and you made $700. Come on, man. What choices? What sense does that make? There you go. He said, I look at it as getting my favorite shoes on discount. You gotta understand that. Like, well, no, let me not say you have to. Let me not say you have to. There are those of us, right? There's a secret set, right? Not even secret. What I'm gonna say is there's a small circle, right? You may be part of this small circle. There's a small circle of individuals that look at Bitcoin not as a flip, meaning I'm gonna flip some fiat and make some more fiat. We look at Bitcoin as a means to an end of an old system and the beginning and birth of a new system, right? So now our mind state has switched from the traditional put in 100, pull out 200, or pull in 100, pull out 700, to how many Satoshis can I acquire and accumulate, right? It's a different game. Is a cold wallet necessary, or just? I would never keep my shit on Coinbase. I'm gonna keep it a buck, and you ain't gotta keep spamming either, and asking it over and over again. I'm gonna see your question. That'll get the the admins to get you out of here. But no, I would never leave anything on Coinbase. Why would you leave it on Coinbase? That's not your wallet. It's not your wallet at all. That's a centralized wallet, so you don't hold the keys to it. So I would never leave it on Coinbase. All right, that's just my personal opinion. Now, if we scroll down to like a 5-day, right? We're coming in close contact with the 20-day exponential. We could see if we were to hold. If we did it, if we lost it on the 5-day around 100,000 to 101, what we would be looking at to the downside, right? No, 100%. That's why they're starting to put it into things like pensions. That's why they got Bitcoin IRAs. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why you got things like I Trust Capital. Right? Make your retirement funds work for you. I'm telling you, I've been giving y'all the future for the past 7-8 years. I've been giving y'all the future. Everything I talked about back in 2017, 18, 19, and 20, you're seeing it come to fruition today. 24, 23, 24, 25, 26. You know what I mean? Damn, that everything that I was talking about before, you're starting to see come into fruition today. So it's like, how much longer am I going to give you the future if you don't take advantage of the future in the present, right? Good looking. I was just asking. I spam because I value your knowledge from Black. Yeah, but you ain't got to spam. I appreciate that though. Big shout out. I appreciate you checking in. Who's that? Dirt Six. I appreciate you tapping in and tuning in. Y'all, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Be right back. Right back.
Kids, I like this one.
All right, there we go. So now we back at it though. So like I said, it's a small circle of us that, yo, Bully, when will you have a class on Cardano, DeFi, and ecosystem? I actually just did a class where we hit on the Cardano, DeFi, and ecosystem. Now, I'm probably going to do a more in-depth class, but we actually just did a class, which is available on my website, blockwallstreet.io, right? Let me see. Let me find it real quick for you. I just did a class where I dived in enough for an individual to get started, right? Right here. The introduction to the ISO 222 tokens, part 1 and part 2 are available right now. So we definitely dived into the Cardano DeFi ecosystem. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we opened up a position. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we opened up a position. Peace King, is Xverse still a good option to earn on Bitcoin? Hell yeah. In my humble opinion, hell yeah. I still use Xverse to this day to earn on Bitcoin. In fact, I just did a whole class on earning on Bitcoin. Hold on, let me see if it's up here. Let me see. Yep, right here. I just did a whole class showing you multiple ways to earn on Bitcoin, multiple strategies. The road to freedom is paved in yield. Bitcoin yield. Because remember, if you're thinking that Bitcoin is going to be something akin to gold, digital gold, where at first it may be the medium of exchange, then it may be what backs the medium of exchange, wouldn't you want to acquire as much as possible? And think of it like this, right? Think of it like this. If I could show you, which I can show you, actually, that's the crazy thing about it. I can actually show you this too. The example, I'm about to give an example and I can actually show you how to do it. But if I can show you how to buy gold, right? Physical gold, and then place it into a container. And by placing it into that container, it grows more gold, meaning you put, I don't know, 10 coins in there. A year later, you got 12 coins, 13, 14, 15. The longer you leave it in there, the more gold you will. Now remember, you're not buying any more gold. You've put it into this magic container. Because you put it into this magic container, it is growing in gold on its own. You get what I mean? That's the equivalent of the class that I just did on Bitcoin. I'm showing you how to get Bitcoin, take it, put it into a magic container where it is going to grow in more bitties for you. So you're going to earn more Bitcoin while holding Bitcoin, right? That's because think of it like this, right? What's better than right now? Let's just say right now you're able to afford, right? let's just say right now you're able to afford 0.043. Let's say right now you're able to afford 4,300,000 Satoshis at the price of $4,976, right? Let's just say you hit a lick or something like that. You came up on $5. You're like, know what? I think I'm gonna take the chance, and I'm gonna put this 5,000 into Bitcoin, right? I'm gonna put this five. At the end of the day, damn near anything with some type of yield on WBTC, right? I think the course is like $125. It's a pre-recorded course. We had the class. We had the actual live class a couple days ago. It's probably like 3-4 hours long, something to that effect. That's another thing, y'all. My classes be long. It's not an hour course. My classes be on minimal 2.5, average 3 to 4 hours, 2.5 to 4 hours on average of my classes, right? But anyways, right? Let's say that you could purchase 4,300,000 Satoshis right now for under $5,000, right? Wouldn't you want to end up with 4,350 Satoshis? 3,440? No, 4,300,000 100 Satoshis, 4,400,000, 4,500,000, 4,600,000, and then have that 4 million flip to 5 million, right? You're not even putting any more money in, but you're earning more Bitcoins on the average, right? You get what I'm saying? Hey, you'll be surprised who'll be out here getting people with an hour-long, crypto class, or they may talk bullshit for 2 hours and then actually teach for an hour. You'll be surprised, Divine God. You'll be surprised what people out here selling. Hey man, learn this in 1 hour. The master class. Take my 1 hour master class and learn all you need to know. Yeah, you'll be surprised with people out here shoveling around. But anyways, right? So now this is the thing. This is another thing that y'all gotta understand, right? From a long-term perspective. While you're earning in Bitcoin, if the price is coming down while you're earning more, by default, you are dollar cost averaging in the Bitcoin for free and acquiring Satoshis at a discount from your original buy-in, which then means when Bitcoin price bounces and returns to its original price, the amount of Satoshis that you earned while it was dropping are now in profit before the original entry that you made. Does that make sense to y'all? And I'm talking slow to make sure, because somebody told me the other day I talk too fast. Like, man, I can't catch what you be saying. You talk too fast. So I'm trying to slow it down so y'all can really understand what I'm trying to say. Does this make sense to y'all? I appreciate that PC and performance. That makes sense to y'all. Let's get into the first story. Analysis are saying that Bitcoin won't go below $100,000. Hold on, where we get? There we go. They're saying Bitcoin won't go below 100,000. This as 145,000 target remains. Let's see what they're talking about. It goes on to state that Bitcoin still has bullish BTC price targets. Analysis Bitcoin predicts the bulls are safe from a trip even close to the 100K marker. Right, the magic jar theory? Interesting. I never heard of the magic jar theory. Let me look that up real quick. Everybody in Chicago talk like it's 2 seconds remaining. Hey, real shit though, that's how all the music used to be. Like anybody that grew up in old school Chicago, well, let me not say old school, 90s Chicago music era, Wicked Entertainment. Of course, we had Twister, Do or Die, Max Crew Click, Psychodrama, Crucial Conflict. Then them niggas rap fast as fuck. So, then you had all the pimps and the players in Chicago. So, you used to have to be quick on the lip. That's the era I grew up in. You had to be quick on the lip. But let me see. Magic jar theory. Never heard of that. Magic jar theory. Let's see. The magic jar theory revolves around a specific spell in Dungeons and Dragons that allow a caster to transfer their soul. Wait, what? No, hold on. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look up financial. Hold on. Let's see, man. Okay, the phrase in the financial context refers to a money management technique that involves dividing income funds into different accounts or categories, often visualized as separate jars for various financial reasons. No, it's my own theory I made up. Oh, okay, my man. It's like a jar you save assets in and they appear. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the magic box. 100%. That's the magic box. That's the magic box. I like that. Divine said, I don't think it's talking fast. Even though I'm going to admit I do talk fast. I do talk fast. But he said, anytime you're learning, there's a delay between thinking about what you're learning and keeping up. So it seems a person is talking fast. I would agree with that. But I do got a fast tongue, though. Fast mouth. Pause. All right, so let's see what they're talking about. Let's see what they're talking about. It goes on to state. Bitcoin is safe from breaking below 100,000 for the rest of the current bull market, the analyst Bitcoin said. The latest predictions hint that 145,000 is still in play for BTC price. A new dip below 114,500 closes a CME futures gap in place since July. Okay, so we got playing right now. Things move fast around here. You have to hurry up and get to the point. Hey, I agree. It goes on to state, Bitcoin will not come close to 100,000 during the current correction, with new all-time highs yet to come. How many of y'all agree with that? How many of y'all think that we will not get down to 100K? Huh? DTC Pharaoh, what's going on, big homie? Hey, I actually got class today. Where you at now? You in ENT? That's one of the guys from the, in fact, I got a couple of the guys from the classes that I teach out here in Chicago over on Stony Island. I think a couple of them is in the building today. I think so. I'm not 100%. How many of y'all think we're not going down to 100K? How many of y'all think we're not going down to 100K? Hey, look, remember when I was teaching y'all this shit, bro? Think about what the price of Bitcoin was when I was telling y'all to buy this shit. Let me see. You what year class were you? When's the last time you had class, bro? Because I want to look at see what the price of Bitcoin was at that time, if you remember. What was the price? What month? What was the last month that I did with y'all when you was in class, if you remember? Oh, you alumni now. He said, I've been out of ENT. I'm alumni. Hey, that's the shit. Congratulations, young man. Congratulations. That's the shit. He said, I'm alumni now. Y'all hear that? Hey, that program changing lives out here in Chicago. I ain't gonna lie. That program really changing lives. I'm happy to be a part of it. 2024? Okay, 2024. So we 2025 now. So let's just go back. 2024. So if it was 2024, right, that means we was below 100,000. Right now we at 115. 15 just came back from 124. Right? Bully for presidents. Hippie vibes, what's going on? Yeah, bully for president. Is the Stony Island classes, the youth class? It ain't really youth, to be honest with you. They're younger than me. I mean, I think the guys in there anywhere from 18. What's the limit in there, bro? What's the oldest you can be in that program? Ain't it like 30 or something like that? I think it's 18 to 30, 17 to 30, or something to that effect. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 18 or 18 or 17 to 30 or something like that. I may be wrong, though. I don't know. I just go there and teach. Anyways, it goes on to state that the latest predictions, we still going to 145,000. Bitcoin may have sagged below 114,500 to seal an 8.8% drawdown against its latest record high, but not everyone is worried about the near future. You know what? I actually want to take a look at the CME gap. Hold on. Here we go. This is the CME gap right here. Let me see. This is on a 5-day, though. Let me look at the daily real quick. Okay. So they may be talking about this gap right here. Right? They may be talking about this gap right here. Hold on. Like at least before September, but I'm gonna DM my number. Yeah, it's supposed to be under 30. He said under 30. So yeah, the program I think from 18 to under 30 is what I'm teaching. And that shit sounds so fucking crazy to me. Like I'm teaching. That shit sound like y'all don't know me. Like people that know me, that's like a crazy thing. Like, yeah, I teach young men. That's wild as hell. Like super wild. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't never give up on yourself and think that you know it all, Joe. I don't care how old you is. Don't never, ever think that you know it all, because you never know what the future might have in hold for you. 100%. You could, prior to prior to 2016, you could have never told me I'd be teaching classes on finances to anybody. Anybody, 100%. Especially not in Chicago. Like classes, like actual classes and shit like that. You know, helping, you know, motherfuckers that's in the streets trying to get out of the streets. Nigga, I was still in the streets. So I ain't, come on, man. Like, you never, ever know what the future will hold for you. This shit be crazy. Shit be real crazy. Anyways, this the gap they talking about right here. This the gap they talking about right here, right? So we filled that gap. We actually filled it back here in at the beginning of August. We actually filled it at the beginning of August. And now, if you look at it, we're coming down and we could be possibly making a higher low than our previous low, right? We could be making a higher low than our previous low, right? Also, we don't see big pullbacks due to ETFs and treasury companies locking in positions. Yeah, you're not seeing those big, like even the pullback we got right now, right? From our highest point right here to where we're currently at. It's only a 7.6% drawdown. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he said some people was 30 though if you was plugged. Right, I can understand that. I can understand that. Right? So now they're saying that we're not going to come down to 100,000. So 100K will be somewhere right around your previous low, about right here, right? This is where 100K will be. Let me zoom out for y'all. Hold on. About right there. So that they're saying price is not going to come back down here. Okay? Now, what I like to do is I like to look at the macro and be like, okay, well, let's look at it from a larger standpoint. And if we're looking at highs and lows, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, you can come. You know, if you're gonna make a higher low than your previous low, let's see. What have these retracements been? That's 30%. That's 30%. Now we can't yet confirm if we have a high. Well, let's say that it is. What does 30% look like? 86,000. If we get another 30% drawdown, about 86, 87,000. And that's been kind of the norm on the monthly. While still holding the buy signal, right? We've had 30% drawdowns, but the buy signal on the monthly hasn't flipped. It hasn't flipped. Okay? Copper Moon, what's going on, Queen? Wealthy Rising. Now, let's go back and take a look. All right? Go back and take a look. Now, they go on to state that prices are going below 100K, not in this cycle. It doesn't matter, the news, the Fed, or inflation. That's some ballsy shit to say. That's real ballsy. Hey, but once again, you got to think, these are motherfuckers that manage hundreds of millions of dollars, so they can be ballsy like that. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, damn, like, do you really feel like that? If their conviction is strong, and if it holds, you should be buying the shit out of every dip that comes. Right? Now, ask whether price could touch the psychological barrier. He added that BTC USD would not even come close to such levels. Very interesting. I'm going to follow them on Twitter. BitQ. I'm going to follow them on Twitter. There were countless questions about Bitcoin going below 100K because experts said it would. I decided to answer everyone at once. I never said it would even come close, let alone go below it. The perspective followed Bitcoin reiterating his next local top target of 145,000 in play throughout 2025. The pseudonymous analyst has made the headlines before, successfully predicting Bitcoin's old all-time high from 2025, which hit before its block subsided rehalving. Hey, y'all got to go back and do my record, though. I done called the highs and the lows a couple of times. It don't matter, though. I don't care about that shit. Current indicators suggest that the cycle top could come at about $250,000. 250K. That's a cycle top. That's a cycle. So now, this is what you got to understand, right? Right? I'm gonna give y'all a bit of game real quick. Hold on. So now, even though Bitcoin is the main goal, right? That's the goal. That's what you really want. That's what you really, really, really want, right? Even though it's Bitcoin. You want to play the lesser alts. You want to use the small fish to get the big fish. You know what I mean? You ever seen a fisher, they be fishing, they catch some little small fish, and then they put the hook on them, throw them back out there, they catch a bigger fish? That's the game that I'm playing. That's the game that I'm playing. So instead of me directly flat out buying, well, really it's a bit deeper than that. I'm gonna keep it a buck, which is it's a lot deeper than that, because I do flat out buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, but then I collateralize that into an interest-bearing account, issue myself a line of credit, and then I use that line of credit in order to go out and get the small fish. And then what those small fish bring back is a chance of a higher percentage of profits, which then I can roll over into Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's how it's really played. But on a simple note, though, for those that aren't yet there, right? For those that aren't yet there, you want to build up your war chest. Build up your war chest. While you're learning, just DCA. Because that Bitcoin and that Ethereum is going to be your war chest. You get what I'm saying? That Bitcoin and that Ethereum is going to be your war chest. So you want to build it up. You want to build it up. Okay? Now, when you're building, you always got to remember, don't jump on moving trains. You want to let the train pull back to the station. That's what smart money does. You don't worry about liquidation. You only worry about liquidation if you're issuing yourself over the amount of credit you should be. Remember, credit issuance, especially for y'all, shouldn't be over 30%. Shouldn't be over 30%. Right? You shouldn't be doing over 30%. So now if you're under that 30% mark, right? If you're under that 30% mark, while you're building, you should have the ability to continue to add on to your collateral, which then widens the gap of your debt to collateral ratio. You get what I'm saying? It widens the gap to your debt to collateral ratio. Okay? Now let's go on with the story. It was on a state that other market participants continue to fear the worst. And that's those that are out there thinking that, oh, man, we're going to done. For trader Roman, equally conspicuous for the conservative views on price at the current stage in the bull market, 100,000 is anything but safe. My bet is this dump doesn't even see a decent area bounce until 112,000. Depending on if we find a reversal. Hold on, let me turn this back around, y'all. There we go. Depending on if we find a reversal. Hold on, where did I just leave off? Depending on if we find a reversal, a close below would be ugly and take us straight to 97,000. Currently not seeing any signs of a reversal so far. All right? They're currently not seeing a chance of any reversal. Because on the state that Roman previously referenced weak volume accompanying the latest all-time high as proof of the move's unsustainable nature. Bitcoin, he argued, was looking increasingly like it did during the peak of its previous bull run in late 2021. This liquidation map shows a massive cluster of short liquidations building up just above 117,000. This is a huge magnet for price. Most traders are focused on the current chop, but institutional players are watching these pressure points. Huh? The institutional players. You got to think, what side of the fence is you on? Right? What side of the fence are you playing? Huh? It goes on to state the liquidation map shows a massive cluster of short liquidation building up just above 117,000. This is a huge magnet for price. Most traders are focused on current chop, but institutional players are watching these pressure points. Hold on, Sam. You. Go see somebody knocking on the door. Or look out the window or some shit. Thought I heard somebody knocking on the door or the window or some shit. Look out the fucking window, see if somebody out there. Man, what I leave off at? Trader attention continues to focus on exchange order book liquidity with expectations of a fresh retaliatory short squeeze to follow the strip below 114,500. Data from monitoring resources CoinGlass puts 24-hour crypto liquidations at 333 million at the time of writing. Trader and analysis Rec Capital notes that the BTC price has filled a gap left in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group's Bitcoin futures market from July. And they're talking about right here, right? I believe we actually just looked at that. Let me see, did we? Not on the weekly. There we go. I think we looked at it on the daily. There we go. There it is. So we're looking at this gap. Yeah, it's from July, what is this? A July 10th gap. A July 10th gap. Now, we can still stretch, though. We can still stretch. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's right here, I don't think that it's over just yet. You got fresh bearish divergence on the MACD. Fresh bearish not bearish divergence. My apologies, y'all. You got fresh negative momentum on the MACD. Fresh negative momentum on the MACD. That's what we got right now. So, I mean, as right now, there's no exhaustion that I see coming from the bears just as of yet, which means that as long as we're below at least the 20-day exponential, right? Which you can see, hold on, right here. So as long as you're below this red line, the expectation is you can always go down to the orange line. I've been seeing a theory that Bitcoin will look out of reach to the basic crypto newcomer, and they will buy up smaller coins like Doge. That's what they do now. That's been the norm since Bitcoin's 5,000. That's been the norm since crypto really been trading. The average individual that doesn't really understand the market, it looks at Bitcoin like, oh, that's too high. Let me just buy these cheaper ones. That's what they've been doing. So that's not you might just be seeing it because you might just be coming to the space, but that shit been around since I've been here since 2017. So that ain't nothing new. That's absolutely nothing new. Yo, Bully, do you still have that package of classes for the month? Hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I got the Fulu subscription. Financial, what should I call it? Hulu? Betflix? Finflix. That's what it is. I got a monthly $100 subscription to Finflix. Financial Flicks, which are, right now I think we got like 32, 33, 34 different classes in there that I've done. And you can view them all 24 hours a day as you want for $100 a month. So yeah, sign up to Finflix. Way better than Netflix. Way better than Netflix. Yeah, it is available. Just send me an email or DM me or something like that if you want to get in there. DM me, email, however you want to do it. I'm actually about to add, I already got the ISO 222 class. I'm going to add, in fact, I might add it today, the new Bitcoin class I just did. Instead of you paying $125 and $125, you can pay $100 and come watch all of them at your leisure for the next 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sign up to Finflix. I need to go fucking trademark that because somebody's going to steal that. Well, it is what it is. All good ideas have been stolen once before. Anyways, all right, so yeah, as of right now, if we are going to test low to the 50-day exponential, you got about 113,500 still to go, right? 113,000 still to go. Yo! Somebody have to go? Oh, they in the driveway? Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. Hold on. You know what? Dude's supposed to be coming to work on the roof, so that might be him, little Mexican dude. All right, so now, anyways, back to that. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. All right. Sometimes that's a FOMO blueprint. They always sell it by saying this is the next Bitcoin. Hey, look, I just had that discussion with somebody. They was looking at something, and they was like, man, they're saying this is I'm like, look, don't never look for the next anything. Don't never look for the next anything. You get what I'm saying? There is no next Bitcoin. There is no next Ethereum. There is no next Solana. There is no next XRP. There are just other projects of other individuals that may be doing similar things. But there is no next. Stop looking for the next. Stop allowing people to sell you, oh, this is going to be the next Bitcoin. Get the fuck out of here. Wait. Look, if y'all listen to that type of jargon, fix your net worth. Good idea. Netflix. Netflix and Finflix. I'm going to look at one of them. I'm going to try to tie one of them down. If somebody don't backdoor me, that is. Try to tie one of them down. Anyways. So they're talking about the gap. We kind of filled the gap. We could be seeing a bounce. Me personally, I'd like to see a little bit more Let's go back over here. Let me see. This is a daily, right? This is a daily. Okay. On Bitcoin daily, we are actually testing the 20-day exponential, right? You could actually maybe possibly see a bounce, right? You could possibly see a bounce. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. My fault, y'all. Got to text my family real quick. I think he was at the door. Yeah, them old news narratives. Old news narratives. But now we're testing the 20-day the 50-day right now on the daily. Possibly could see a bounce at that time. Negative momentum could be short-lived. If we lose that area, right? I do like this retest area back here around the 100-day exponential. That's around 110,000, right? That would break the overall structure we have now of a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We can come up and make a higher high somewhere around 126, 128,000. It's a possibility, right? It is a possibility. You know, the only thing that I don't like, and it is not only just on this chart, it's on a number of them, right? This one thing that I don't like seeing right now. Let me show you. You know what? Let me get rid of all this. I got 16 draws on here. Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of all that. Hold on. I ain't going to get rid of all that. Let me see. Let me get something. Okay, here we go. This is a decent layout right here. So remember, I gave y'all this move in the very beginning to 121,000. Y'all remember this? From mid-May going out into July. Y'all remember this channel that I had for y'all that we talked about day in, day out throughout the lives, and we had to break out to the target, and then what happened? They hit the target and what? Pulled back to the breakout. Yeah, the green line is 100-day EMA. What wallet do you recommend outside of Ledger? You talking about hardware wallets or software wallets? Right? I like layer 2. I'll be honest with you. I like layer 2s. I like layer 2s and layer 3s. Meme coins, but layer 2s, I like layer 2s. Personally, I like layer 2s. But no, we hit the target, came back, retested the previous breakout, right? And that in and of itself was a 9% drawdown, right? That in and of itself was a 9% drawdown. Now, this is what I'm looking at, though. What I want you to pay attention to here, right? Look at the high that we have here. Look at the next high that we have about here. And then look at the next high that we have right about here, right? If you look at those highs in your RSI, right, what is that building? What is that slowly but for surely building? Who can answer that? What is this building? What are we looking at right now? Who's been taking the classes? Who knows what we're looking at right now? Who knows what we're looking at right now? Huh? You can look at SafePal. I like Trezor. I'm gonna get me a Tantrum wallet pretty soon. Right, but what is this right here seen? What is this right here called? When you got higher highs on price, but lower lows on RSI or on an oscillator, what is that called? There you go, acronym bearish divergence. Oh, Pat Jolie, you got it too. Bearish divergence. That's bearish divergence, y'all. That is bearish divergence. Now, not only, let me make sure these are marked off. Okay. Now, not only is it on the daily, right? Let me mark these off for the weekly. There we go. Not only is it on the daily, it's also on the weekly. Look at this. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Look at this right here. Get rid of that small little speck right there. There we go. Check this out. Right? I'm seeing the same thing shown on the weekly, which is huge because this is a macro perspective. So you got your high right about here. We're going to mark it off on the RSI first. In fact, that's what we're going to do. We're going to mark off the highs on the RSI and then see how they relate on price. What time is it? I got to get to class. right? So we got our highs. We got our high, right? This is why I like going live. I mean, it's cool to come through and talk about stories, and I like to come and teach. I like to come and teach, so y'all not in the dark, right? I like to come and teach, so y'all not in the dark. So you got a high, a lower high, and a much lower high on a weekly perspective. On a weekly perspective, right? But you got a high, and a much higher high on the weekly perspective. So now on the oscillator, look at this. Isn't this like a mirror image? Isn't that like a mirror image? High, 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 low, low, low. What does that tell you? That tells you that there is weakness. Now, another chart that I've been looking at over here, right? Here we go, right here. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is, right here. Right? Hold on, let me open this up. Now, let me put you back there. Let me just get let me just get rid of this real quick momentarily. Real quick. Let me get rid of that real quick. Now, what do you have here? You have a long-standing trend line. Long-standing trend line right here. Right? And I have that bearish divergence marked in. Now, history tells us, and remember, everything is not always true and exact. It's not always going to play out the same. But, right? Yeah, demand is still king, 100%. Every time we've seen a gap, we've come down to retest this channel. Right? You see the gap, you come and retest. See the gap, you come and retest. We're getting another gap, albeit not as huge as gap as we've seen, so we could still gap up. But as long as we're below this previous low, you do have a possibility of coming back down and retesting this trend line right here. You see it? You see it? You do have a chance of coming back down and retesting this trend line. Now, what's interesting about that, depending on how far out to the right we go, because that's the thing. That's the thing. It all depends on how far out to the right you go. If we're going to test it, that's going to dictate where the area of testing is going to come in at. So if we're looking at something like this, right? Just show you a couple different scenarios. There we go. If we were to drop from where we're at right now, that's about 105. We stretch it out a little bit, 106. It depends on how far to the right we go before we actually correct. Right? That's like 109. Let's see if we put this right here and stretch it out a little bit more. That's like 111. You get what I mean? So it really all depends on where that drop is going to come in and how far out it's going to go before it drops to come and test it. I mean, it could be 104. I mean, we'll just drop right now, it'd be like 100,000, right? So it really depends on how. Let me just zoom in. Let me zoom in real quick. Now I'm sticking to the script right now. I ain't got time to divulge and be looking at all these other coins, because this is the thing. If I look at one person's coin, I'm going to want to be fair and look at the next person's coin, and then be fair and look at the next person's coin. So I just stick to my script, my play. Sometimes I might divulge depending on the amount of time that I have, but right now I ain't got that much time. I got to get to class. So yeah, right now, like I said, it depends on where you're going to pull back at. You get what I'm saying? Which is going to dictate where the low's coming in at. It really depends on where you're going to pull back at, right? But just know that in the past, when we've had this gap, we've come down and retested this trend line going back as far as 2022. So you tested it in November, December 2022, left it. Came back August, September 2023, left it. Came back August. Interesting. 2024, left it. Came back March of 25, left it. And we're in August again. Very interesting. Very interesting. This was August of 23 and then August of 24. Oh, hold on. Let me zoom out for y'all. My fault. There we go. My fault, y'all. There we go. Hey, look, very interesting. Look at these pullback areas. Look at these pullback areas. Hold on. Where's my marker at? This was August. And this was August. Now, let me see how long it took. Let me see. What are you looking at? What are we 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 looking at? Hold on, y'all. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What am I looking for? Here we go. Date and price range. So now it took 42 days. We're looking at this on a weekly. So it took about 42 days 63 days. Altogether, it was like a 91-day correction. So that's about 3 months. 91-day correction. Okay. Let me see the last one. Let me see from, we'll say from the rally here, 70 days, about 105 days to the correction, 70 days. Okay. Let's look now. Let's say from the correction, 70 days, about right here, about 102. 90, 90 days would be about 108. If it's going to drag out that long. If it's going to drag out that long. Right? But everything else kind of started. Hold on. Uh-oh, we're getting UTC bottle. I'm getting alerts on Bitcoin on the daily. Let me see at 9:14. What time is it? It is 9:14. Let me put that once per bar close. Change that around. There we go. There we go. All right. So yeah, I mean, do I think the correction is over right now? No, especially not with a 12-hour looking like this. In fact, here we go. Remember this 12-hour chart, new money matrix? Y'all remember this? 111,000. We hit it once, bounced up, coming back down. In fact, we came close to this other breakout area right here. Let me see. Do I want to get rid of all this? Nah. Let me Here we go. Let's turn this off. Leave that on the weeks. There we go. Oh, but it's CME though. I don't want CME. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we got a fresh sell on the 12-hour. Sell came back here on the 4-hour. So nah, you're not in the grounds of reverse just yet. Though. Let me see. Let me open up on a 12-hour. Let me see. Let me look at it daily real quick. Okay, that's a daily. This is a 12-hour. Yeah, honestly, man. Man, look how you broke it and rejected from the 618. Yeah, unless we're able to get back above $117,000, I can see $112,000 to the downside from where we currently stand. I can see $112,000 to the downside from where we currently stand. Millennial Properties, what's up, Bully? How you been? Millennial Properties 84. I've been all good. Peace. I'm trying to remember your Instagram tag moniker. Millennial Properties 84. Interesting. What's going on though? How you feeling? Yeah, I haven't been over there in a while. OP and Base don't got a lot of assets. Now that cheap ETH is cheaper. It's Candidate and AVAX. Nah, but you know what OP and Base do got? They got damn good yields over there. They got some damn good yields on some of those in order for me to acquire some more. You get what I'm saying? What's the question? I don't see the question. Let me see. Compare to APR, low gas chain. Yeah, I haven't been there. If you don't get to your question, ask in the Discord. I don't get the question. I don't see the question. Yeah, I've been following you for a while. Okay, no doubt. Taylor made from the SIP. What's going on, big homie? All right, so now let's go. Let's move on. We talked about the dip. Now let's look at it from a macro perspective. Let's look at it from a macro perspective real quick. Okay? Let's look at it from a macro perspective. Let me refresh. Let me see. Let me take this. Will it like so? So yeah, if we're looking at testing even the 382, we're gonna be looking at like 105. Let me put the 236 back in here real quick. Wow, look at that, 112,000. Didn't I just say 112? It's 112,000 right there. So yeah, right now 112,000. 112 to like 110, man. Because I like coming back to retest this previous breakout area right here. I do like coming to retest this previous breakout area. All right? I do like coming to retest this previous breakout area around $109,000, $110,000. But we could tap that on a wick basis and then close back above 112,000, right? That's what you could see. And then we could see a deeper retracement and have a 61.8% retracement and see 92,000. It's all about which one of these Donkey Kong levels we break first. All right? Now, Swarm. Remember we were just talking in the beginning of the live? And we were talking about, or I was speaking about blockchain. this whole decentralized finance sector, tokenizing everything, stocks, commodities, bonds. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I mean. Swarm launches DeFi compatible tokenized stocks on Hedera. We just covered Hedera in this, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We did. Not in this class right here, but in the ISO 222 class, we covered we covered XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand. Who else did we cover? I think we covered Hedera, if I'm not mistaken. We covered HBAR. Damn, who else did we cover in this class? We covered a lot of projects in this class. This right here is a class. Look, if you're all hype about the ISO 222 tokens, but you want the actual truth, you either want to go purchase this class or you want to join my monthly subscription of, what are we going to call it? Netflix? Oh, it can't be Netflix. I like Netflix, though. What were we going to call it? I forgot. Finflix. It was another name somebody gave that was pretty slick, though. Netflix. There we go. Fixing your net worth. Netflix. I like Netflix. Netflix or Finflix, whichever one. I do have a monthly subscription, which allows you to view right now somewhere between 33 and 35 past classes. Most of them in this list right here that you can go look at. Right? Reach out if you want to get the name. What are your thoughts on Ondo? I like Ondo. I like RWA projects. Period. I like RWA projects. Period. So I like Ondo. Anyways, moving right along. Regulated decentralized finance platform Swan, which has a total value lock of just under 1 million. Swarm. I don't know why I keep saying Swan. Has a total value lock of just under 1 million and has partnered with Hedera Foundation to launch tokenized stocks on Hedera, a layer 1 blockchain with a total value lock of about 130 million. The rollout enables on-chain access to U.S. equities, including Apple, Tesla, and Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy. The assets are issued under Swarm's EU prospectus regulation approval and are backed 1-to-1, according to a press release viewed by the Defiant. A Swarm spokesman told the Defiant that the products are accessible globally to investors outside the United States and countries under the OFAC sanctions, including participants across the European Union. This is a major differentiator from most real-world asset offerings that remain limited to accredited or professional investors, the spokesman said. In the United States, accredited investors are typically defined by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission as individuals who meet certain financial thresholds, like having over $200,000 in annual income. Unlike centralized brokerages, which hold customers' assets and operate within set market hours, Swarm's tokenized stocks trade directly on-chain, can settle in stable coins, and are available 24/7. Where else can you trade stocks 24/7? Somebody tell me. Huh? Somebody tell me. Oh, somebody asked what the best chain to use on Instadap is. I wouldn't say there's no best. It's whichever one, because it really boils down to what assets do you want to have on that chain, right? I like Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche. So I open up an account on all three chains. That way I can collateralize Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche. So it's really up to you at the end of the day. I wouldn't say there's no best, though. You know what I'm saying? But it goes on to state there are also DeFi integrated, meaning that they can be used as collateral. Hey, look, that's the key. Hold on. She just asked the question. As they said, they can be used as collateral. But no, I just showed y'all how to borrow against stocks on the last class. Hold on. I showed y'all in this class right here how to borrow against your stocks. In the in the Bitcoin class, I think I did, didn't I? Somebody that took this class, if you can remind me, didn't I borrow against my MicroStrategy to buy more Bitcoin? Didn't I deposit Bitcoin, borrow against Bitcoin, deposit in MicroStrategy, borrow against MicroStrategy, and then deposit back in Bitcoin during this class? I think I did. Yeah, they stopped using Pole for the most part for the stable coins. I got off of the Polygon Eco network. I got off of there. So yeah, I showed how to do that in this class, how to borrow against stocks. But it's interesting, as your comment popped up, that's exactly what they were talking about, right? They can be used as collateral in lending or other on-chain financial strategies. Notably, the launch requires a redemption pool that lets users cash out of tokenized stocks on-chain right away instead of waiting the typical 2 days for settlement. Y'all don't see how this is changing the world? Huh? Can I show y'all in the next ETH class? I might, but it's going to be outside of the realm. I mean, I might. I kind of, like when I do these classes, I kind of have them set on what we're going to teach. Let me see. I might put that in a different class. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to hold a whole class on tokenized stocks. That's all. Instead of trying to add it on to this midget at the end of a class that I already got based, I'm just going to do a whole class on borrowing against stocks and how best to go about it, in my humble opinion. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, for those of you that want to learn how to earn more ETH, we got class this Thursday. We do have class this Thursday where we're going to be showing you how to acquire more Ethereum, how to maximize your ETH returns using staking and derivatives. That's this Thursday. You can go to blockwallstreet.io and sign up for class. Or just wait for the class to be had and then purchase it later on, or join the $100 subscription and just watch it for, watch all of them for. But this is the thing though. And this why I like those that actually come to class to interact, because it allows you the ability to ask questions and get clarity. You might be watching the class and might not understand something. You know what I'm saying? Florentino, I don't want to look at compound, bro, because like I said, if I look at one person's coin, I'm going to want to look at everybody's coin just to be fair. Is the XLM and Velo class in the monthly subscription? Let me take a look real quick. Let me see. It is right here. Deep dive into XLM and Velo. These are the classes I got. XRP, how to play the markets and beat the banks, introducing the Casper and KRC20 tokens, Avalanche, introducing the DJ, what's new on Bitcoin for 2025, part 1 and part 2, play the previous high, TA introduction, how to trade futures contracts, self-banking for 2025 and beyond, introduction to Barachain and Sonic Labs, part 1 and part 2, introduction to ISO tokens, part 1 and part 2, all this for $100. You get to watch all these classes right here for $100 a month. Do I know any apps? You can look at Houdini Swap. You should do a remix of Bone Thugs, If I Could Teach the World to Get into Crypto and DeFi Like Me. If I could. I can't rap on that beat. I ain't gonna lie. That's a lot of greats. Let me see. If I could teach the mighty world. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I really can't rap to Bone beats, man. They beat. That's what I liked about music back in the 90s. Everybody's music sounded different and they shit went to them. You get what I'm saying? They beats, man. Who was making they beats back then? I'm trying to think. It was damn, I know the name. Who was making Bone Thugs and Harmony beats? What was their name? It was I remember it used to be on the back of their CD, man. Is the paying crypto in there too? No, that's not my class. That's Red Pill's class. That ain't mine. That's Red Pill's. I just taught it. So that ain't my class. I'm gonna see if Red Pill will allow me to put it in there. But that's part of his Patreon community. I may get in and put it in there though. I'm gonna holler at him. But you can look at Houdini Swap. All right, moving right along. Sui joins Bitcoin and Ethereum with its own treasury company. Look who's building a $450 million reserve. What did I tell y'all before? If they build a treasury, you build a collateral position. I can't lie. Some of these names of projects be sounding kind of janky. That's just a space. That shit don't mean a fucking iota of anything. Pancake Swap is one of the biggest applications on Binance BSC. But think about it like this: how many people from Wall Street are you gonna get to put their money on something called Pancake and buy a cake token? So the names don't mean shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I like this space, because it's so nascent. It's kind of like it's like a tech punk or like a punk geek or something like that. You know what I'm saying? People are literally making what they want. Come on, man. You got shit called cock in you that has X amount of millions and billions of dollars in it. I love this space. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, it'd be funny as hell. It'd be funny as hell. It'd be real funny. But anyways, SUI. Somebody's building the SUI treasury. It goes on to state that Mill City Ventures III, a non-bank lender and specialty finance company, announced a $450 million private placement to adopt SUI treasury strategy, marking a significant shift towards blockchain investment. Come on, man. That's why the dumbest memes go crazy. You're correct. You're correct. 100%. 100%. Oh, I had to take that mask off. God damn. Motherfucker can't breathe under that. But look, this is all I'm saying, y'all. At the end of the day, you're early to a game, right? You're early to a game that has only been being played for about 15 years. Really 10 to 11 to 12 years, kind of hard. You get what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Your future wealth is going to come from your education. Not somebody telling you the right coin to buy. Because that right coin to buy this year may not be the same next year. And that's why I tell people I roll everything over into Bitcoin, because it's one of the only ones that year in, year out, kind of other than Tron and a couple, but all these coins aren't year in, year out making higher highs. They're just not. They're getting a nice pump. Not saying that they're not going to, right? But at the end of the day, I'm just going to leave it at that. You're going to make the most amount of money based off how much education you've got, right? No, you know what? Let me say this. Because a fool can make money. Let me say this. Do I have a SUI class? Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do. Let me see. I should. Hold on. Let me see. SUI. Where's my SUI class? I should have a SUI class. I know I got a SUI class. Let me see if it's in here. I know for a fact I got a SUI class, but where is it? You see, XRP, XLM, Caspa, Degen, Bitcoin, TA, self-banking. Actually, I don't have it in here. You know what? I'm gonna have to go get that. I'm pretty sure I got a class on SUI and Aptos. I gotta go find that. Let me go find that and get that up here. What? Why don't I have that up here? Interesting. Yeah, let me go find that. Okay, let me say this though. Let me get back to what I was saying before I get out of here though. Right? Education is what's gonna allow you to keep and continuously grow your money. Because a goddamn fool can make a lot of money. You could slip up. Hey, look, in an extreme bull market, you can slip up and fall on $100,000. Slip up and fall on $1 million. But keeping it. That's why y'all see a lot of the lottery ticket winners, right? Those that don't have any type of financial education, right? Get a lot of money, and then they broke after X amount of time. This the problem. People think a lot of money is what's going to do it. It's not the fact that you have a lot of money. It's the fact that you know what to do with a lot of money, which changes the outcome. Hear me out, y'all. Everyone like, man, if I could just hit a lick. If I could just hit a lick. I'm going to tell you like this. 90% of Americans, well, I'm not going to put it that high. I'm damn near going to say it, though. 90% of the average American, if you was to give them $1 million, they would be broke within the first year. They would be broke. I'm talking about just free. Just give them $1 million. Motherfucker would be broke within the first year. Because you don't have a concept in your mind of growing this. You just have a concept of spending this. That's all you think about. That's all a lot of us think about when we come across money. Whether it's a lottery ticket, whether it's a lick, whether it's selling drugs, whether it's a work and you got a stipend or a bonus, we always think, how can we spend it? We never think, how can we grow it? That's the problem. You come across money right now. Just think about it. If you walked outside and found $5,000, how many of you are honestly going to go invest anything out of that $5,000? I'm about to go buy me a car. I'm about to go buy what the fuck I want. Keep it a buck, Joe. Keep it a buck. I'll be thirsty as fuck to invest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, any money I touch, I be thirsty as hell to put it in the market, Joe. It don't be shit else. It don't be clothes. It don't be shoes. It don't be jewelry. It don't be none of that. I be thirsty as fuck to find an investment, Joe. Like, y'all don't even understand. It's like a crackhead thirst. It just because I know as soon as, and it ain't even gonna be finding an investment. I'll find $5,000 right now before I do anything. I'm putting it into an interest-bearing account. Because I can start earning interest right now today. Where do you start? You start on blockwallstreet.io. You start in my free Discord. Since you're following me, DM me. If you can't DM me, if I'm not following you back, comment under one of my videos so I can send you the link to my free Discord, the Block Wall Street Classes Discord. This does give you access to past classes, future classes, one-on-ones, different payment options. What I'm going to start doing for those that are part of the Block Wall Street Discord, right? For those that are going to be purchasing these classes on a peer-to-peer basis, I'm going to start giving everybody that's part of the free Discord a discount on classes, right? Versus you having to buy them through the website, okay? But you can visit the website. You can schedule me consultations, one-on-ones. What else? I don't know. But yeah. We got class this Thursday. If you want to learn how to grow your ETH, get the tickets. You can buy them right from blockwallstreet.io under upcoming courses and events. And remember this, $1 a day. Remember, you do not have to break the bank, y'all. $1 a day keeps poverty away. But the individual today had $500 to spend. I do the same thing with $5,000. I'm putting it into an interest-bearing account, and then I'm going to utilize that collateral to go out and I'm going to borrow. I'm going to issue myself a line of credit. I'm going to use that line of credit to make my more riskier investments. That's how I'm going to play the game. That's how I've always played the game. All right? And look, I wish I had time to play the music. I don't. I got to get up out of here. With that being said, I appreciate everybody. Until the next one, peace, power, and prosperity, family. I am out of here. Don't forget, visit blockwallstreet.io if you need help in this space. I appreciate and love y'all all. To the next one. Peace.